Cheating Death Podcast is a satirical program containing objective information about anything and everything under the sun. We are not political, we are not religious, we are merely analytical and perhaps a bit prodigious. You made a decision, given the opportunity upon this day, and by now you are firmly aware that you have chosen to cheat death. Today's episode of the Cheating Death Podcast, we get into the illusion of options, how it is that we have created this entire fabricated society where we believe that we can replace anyone and everything within our path with something greater each and every single time. We provide you with an all-new joke of the episode, an all-new Annihilation Announcement, and of course, dear listeners, what would this lovely program be without a top 5 list of our favorite road signs? All this and more on this episode of the Cheating Death Podcast, so by now you know what to do. Grab yourself a nice coffee, put your feet up on that table, and it is time for us to tell you how you can cheat death. This is your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this is your Annihilation Announcement. Late breaking news at 11. We have discovered that a lot of people feel as if they are replaceable and as if they are not capable of fulfilling the expectations of those in whom surround them upon this grand road to existence, this journey that we are all on. Well, dear listener, fortunately, we have a late-breaking update as it pertains to this new report, and that is that whenever we look inside of our minds and inside of our souls, there are questions that we ask ourselves on a regular basis. Some of them are fair and some of them are not. Some of them look towards the sun for answers. Meanwhile, the sun is apathetic. It is indeed a giant bowl of hydrogen and helium that takes form in the realm of a sphere that is chaotic and cataclysmic. However, without it, we would all be gone by the way of extinction, and the zombs of extinction would be leading us down the path to nowhere. However, we must understand, dear listener, that throughout the road of life, there are so many questions that we ask ourselves, a lot of them needless, a lot of them requiring information that would fulfill the obligation of the answers in which we are looking for. However, we do not give ourselves the patience, we do not give ourselves the space, we do not give ourselves the opportunity to shine in a way that would be conducive and or beneficial to each and every single soul in whom walks along the path to freedom. Why do we ask ourselves so many hurtful and so many harmful questions in ways that we would never ask other people that we care about? Why is it that we destroy ourselves and give ourselves absolutely no room to grow when ultimately the world has been giving us opportunity time after time after time again? The universe speaks to us in ways that we still are not able to understand or quantify in any sort of measurable dynamic. Absolutely not. But does that necessarily mean that we as people need to really focus and try to configure exactly what it is that we are doing wrong? Yes, we need to do better. We need to continue to try. We need to continue to move forward and wage war upon mediocrity and understand that the only way that we are ever going to really be happy with ourselves is that if we give it our best, is that if we do everything that we can to dream and fulfill those goals that we provide ourselves when we are children, when we are young adults, when we are adolescents, and when we are in college and university or whatever vocation we so shall choose. We are so harsh on ourselves and we never give ourselves a true opportunity to grow and to foster development and to believe. And the reason for this is simple. We are tired. We are exhausted as a species. We continue to develop these artificial, infrastructural situations to where no human being was designed to function long term. Our nervous systems, being of 300,000 years old, a constant evolution, were not made to constantly undergo this amount of pressure, this amount of stress, this amount of animosity, this amount of pure cataclysmic disaster. We need to take a break collectively as a society, and as an entity within ourselves speaks to us, we need to move forward in a way that is not necessarily a way that people will be able to focus on themselves. No, we need to do better for the community, for those around us, for those who believe in us, for those who love us, for those who care. Because we ask ourselves each and every single day, what more can we do? How differently can we approach a situation in order to get ourselves to the point of where we want to be? These questions don't necessarily have to be completely limited in terms of options. The answers can be widespread. They can be found in litanies and in numerous places to where you would only see in your wildest dreams. But that does not necessarily mean that at the end of the day that you and each and every single person in whom is trying their best is not capable of seeking and acquiring those answers, dear listener. You have to give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself a little bit of patience and understand that when we move forward, we do so as a species. For there is no such thing truly as individualism. The idea that one person exists completely separate from the bunch is merely a promotional tactic. It is merely a psychological game that is played upon you to get you to believe that you're special, so you buy into whatever commercial program you are being sold at the time. Wake your mind up. Do not slip away into the realms of obscurity. Do what you can to make the world a better place for those around you while you are still here. This is your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this has been your Annihilation Announcement. Willkommen, 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 meine Freunde. Guten Morgen, guten Tag und eine gute Nacht. Ist deine Schauspieler, deine Vernichter, deine Allesfresser, deine Ausländer und deine Künstler, deine Cleric of Chaos. Und meine Freunde, heute ist ein schöner Tag. Because today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we present to you the illusion of options. For when we provide ourselves an opportunity as an adult to move forward and to identify exactly what specifically it is that we look to seek in another human being, the world tells us that now we have an endless list of people, of situations, of trepidations that we no longer have to deal with. No, we can merely discard those individuals and throw them right in the heap of the trash of eternity. Because when we feel disrespected, or when we feel that somebody has not honored our commitment to ourselves or to our world, what do? 9 times out of 10, we look at them with a chagrin, and we turn a blind eye to any sort of constructive criticism or any sort of communication that may fall out of our lines of our comfort zones. Why is it that we do this? It is simple. Humans, by and large, over the course of time, are becoming resistant to criticism, feedback, change, growth, opportunity, resilience, and understanding. Why is this, you ask? Well, there are a few reasons. Reason number one is because people do not want to be confronted. People do not want to be challenged on their opinions. Now, of course, you will find a rare lotus blossom in the woods of roses in this exception, but there will always be trepidation and strife whenever one is attempting to do whatever they can to have a constructive conversation with an individual and or a group and or a source in whom has provided us great pain. For you see, we humans, we like to think that we are the apex species. We like to believe that we are the be-all, end-all of this particular planet, but the reality could not be any further from the truth. We do everything that we possibly can to believe in ourselves in such a way that each and every single one of us truly has an opportunity to be someone great. But do we ever take that choice? Do we ever actually do the work and look into our souls and actually do the hard work of reflection, connection, identification, and proliferation? No, we do not. As a species, we suck. We are fucking horrible people. Because in actuality, you take all the good out of the world and you realize that we think that a lot of people, the vast majority of humanity is good. And we hear that. We see little acts of kindness on a daily basis. Some of us, we do acts of kindness on a daily basis. Some of us, we attempt to do everything that we possibly can to prepare those we love and those we care about for the calamities and or for the potential areas of opportunity that are yet to come. But 9 times out of 10, do we actually look at these situations as being anything more than mere platitudes? No. A lot of us take life way too lightly and look at things from a pejorative scale, in the sense that we do not identify or quantify exactly what it is that we need to do to get to that next level. We just expect it to happen. We just expect a handout in some ways, shapes, and forms. And let me tell you, dear listener, that in and of itself is one of the most avaricious and most destructive points of view one can hold. If you are one of these individuals in whom believes that the world must cater to you and that you have forever to identify or to change or to grow, you are mistaken on such a significant level that we cannot even begin to touch on that throughout the course of this particular episode. Please understand that whenever we look at ourselves in a mirror and whenever we try to quantify what it is that we seek, the options that we feel that we have are non-existent. We have no Rolodex of souls that we can communicate and that we can contact as a backup. This is a beautiful identification of an absolutely horrific situation. How? Simple. The illusion of options has taken us to a point as a species to where we feel untouchable. But at the end of the day, when you lay your head down on that pillow, when you look at yourself in that mirror as you brush your teeth and as you prepare to slumber for the evening, you realize it yourself. You see it yourself. You feel it. You experience it. You know, you understand that in this world, in this beautiful hellscape that we are all a part of, that we are not options. We do not have the ability to choose between people. Because at the end of the day, those people also have choices. And 9 times out of 10, when you think that someone is going to be your backup, rest assured that you are going to get a veritable slap in the face of destiny and of reality. That sometimes, when we look at ourselves in the mirror and we choose to treat people how we treat people, we understand that we have to feel a certain way. But 9 times out of 10, we do not take how that other person feels into consideration. We do not take how they are going to receive our message and or our communication into interpretation. What we do is we do absolutely nothing but make people believe that they're replaceable. We make people believe that love is conditional. We make people believe that they are not worthy. 80% of all suicides in the United States of America on a daily basis are men. 75% of all suicides in Canada on a daily basis are men. The Medical Assistance in Dying program accounts for 5% of all deaths and suicides in Canada. Assisted suicide in some states accounts for up to 7 to 12% of all suicides across the United States of America. And you ask yourself, what does this have to do with the illusion of options? Well, dear listeners, the moment you start treating people like options is the moment that you stop being human and you start to become a monster. Do what you can to be the benevolent soul that you wish to experience throughout this life. Be the person in whom you hope to seek. For without you and the change that you try to put into the world, the illusion of options remains just that, an illusion. Thank you for tuning in today. Take care of yourselves and each other. At the top of today's episode, we promised you a list of our top 5 favorite road signs. No, this isn't hyperbole, and no, it isn't a joke. We are genuinely serious. Top 5 favorite road signs. Coming in at number 5, we have the yield sign. Coming in at number 4, we have the double line do not pass sign. Coming in at number 3, we have the ambiguous speed limit sign on the freeway. Coming in at number 2, we have one of the most amazing signs ever created in the history of man, and that is the no standing sign. And coming in at number 1, of course, is our favorite octagon and everyone's favorite too, the stop sign. What is your top 5? Email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com. Today's joke has been brought to you by the Cleric of Chaos. A lot of speech, a lot of communication, a lot of conversation into how people identify how they wish to die. Well, I mean, one thing is for sure. I sure as heck hope that, like my grandfather, I go peacefully in my sleep. But I really hope I don't go like those in the vehicle that he struck, screaming in terror along the way. Over the course of time, we allow ourselves to breathe, we allow ourselves to think, but do we really allow ourselves to feel? This is a question that we ask ourselves time and time again, but at the end of the day, we don't really take time to process things anymore. We are such a community of fast-moving dwellers that we do not give ourselves a chance or hope to shine at any point throughout this arduous journey that we call existence. We ask ourselves many questions, but do we really wait for the answers? Is this something that we are actually capable of doing as a species on a long-term basis, or have we just won the lottery time and time again? These are questions and these are situations that we ask ourselves exactly what more can we do to be better people, to identify, to move forward, to quantify. This is not something that we have to really figure out exactly what the answers are at all one time. We have to give ourselves grace and we have to give ourselves patience. We have to move forward in a way that is beneficial, not only to us, but to those around us. For you see, the whole element and the whole point of this program isn't necessarily just to identify how you can cheat death and how you can potentially cheat on various initiatives and or endeavors in order to take shortcuts in life. No, cheating death isn't about taking shortcuts. It's about surviving. It's about getting through. It's about configuring the solutions that you need in order to move forward in a way that is beneficial and conducive to you and those around you. How you can better treat yourself, how you can better identify exactly what you may need to do to move forward in a certain way. How is it that you can move forward and quantify exactly what you need to do in order to become the person that you look in the mirror and you want to see? Asking yourself exactly what these particular solutions and where these roads lead is not necessarily a detrimental state of mind. It is an area of opportunity that each and every single one of us face throughout this course of life, and all we must do is believe in ourselves. Yet a lot of us give ourselves no opportunity to see the sun before the clouds break. A lot of us give ourselves no chance to see the sun before the sky breaks it for us, when we do not give ourselves the patience and the beauty that we have earned throughout the struggles and strife of modern existence. These are not merely points of contention, dear listeners. They are points of evaluation to where we must, as a species, do every single possible thing that we can to grow. When we refuse to grow and we choose to stagnate, that is when we are betraying not only ourselves but our species and the amount of effort, time, and sheer luck it took for you to pop out of your mother's uterus and for you to see exactly what it took for you to reach the point to where you are listening to this program today, wondering why this individual cares about humanity so much. It's simple, because the reality behind each and every single one of our lives is, whether we choose to admit it or not, we all have areas of opportunity. We all have positions where we can grow, and all that matters, dear listener, is that you do your very best. Thank you for tuning in today. Take care of yourselves and each other. The Cheating Death Podcast is brought to you by Nach dem Leben, CRDVC, Cleric of Chaos, and where you can find all podcasts on all platforms. Please follow us at youtube.com/@Cleric of Chaos and all of our pinned profile social media. Follow our friend Alex Burke at Alex Burke Comedy on Instagram. Follow Damon Charles at Damon Charles on Instagram as well. Please follow Backroom Comedy Club at 814 Bloor Street West in Toronto, Ontario, Canada at Backroom Comedy Club at Instagram.com. Follow them and subscribe to get the most up-to-date information on tickets and available information. Follow The Last Temptation on 12 Kensington Avenue on Instagram and on all social media as well. And please head on over to Instagram.com/Cleric of Chaos and follow each and every single one of our talented comedy friends and music friends as well. Dear listeners, if you or anyone you know are dealing with substance abuse, withdrawal, or any sort of emergency calamity, please consult the telephone numbers listed in the episodes and in the podcast description. If you'd like to support the podcast, you may do so by purchasing merch, media, a cameo, or much, much more. Links in the episode's description as well, and you may buy us a coffee if you so shall choose. If you or anyone you know are looking at adopting a playful puppy or a cute kitten, please visit your local animal adoption rescue center and visit yummypets.com/voice. Sign up for a free account and click the button every day to give shelter animals an opportunity to receive free food at the end of the month. Dear listener, life is not a one-track solution, and by now you know this wholeheartedly. We are here for you, and we will do whatever we can to ensure that your support is universal. And remember, we are pulling for you. We are all in this together.